guys, welcome back. So today we're gonna do not today, in this video, we'll be doing a director's commentary on the Daminette twins AU, and we're gonna director commentary or writer's commentary, I don't know. Which one should we call it, director or writers? Let's do writers, because I have a feeling I'm gonna be able to do directors later in the future. So we're gonna do a writer's commentary on part 2 of Daminette Twins, which is also on my Tumblr. If you guys follow me on ArtXyra .tumblr.com. I think that's how you go for it. I was gonna open a new tab and I don't want to do that right now. So yeah, I think that's my Tumblr. If you guys know, literally just look up my username and it'll be one of the first few things to pop up. Okay, so let's go to part 2. The reason I don't have part 1 because I wrote part 1 on my Word doc and not my Google Drive. Lessons were made. Mistakes were made, not lessons. Mistakes were made, and I have school. And I write when I'm bored, especially when I'm on a computer 9 times out of the day. Alright, so let's read part 2. So, part 2. How long is part 2? Okay, so part 2 is not that long. We're not going to do part 2. Part 3 is going to be a later day. Okay? Alright, cool. It was a late night when the Bat family heard movement in the kitchen. Alfred, already knowing who it is, just watches as the men who has their own houses make their way to the vicinity. Alright, so when I first started this, I probably had Alfred already knowing that the twins were in the kitchen, and that this was like one of those moments where the twins are having their little midnight, and you know how you're in a house full of superheroes. They're listening to every little detail going on here. Alright. So I think that's what went in my head when I was writing that sentence. If not, I have no idea. It's been so long. In the kitchen, Thomas is stirring him something in a mixing bowl while Genevieve sits on the counter with her legs swinging in an attempt to keep her busy. Genevieve groans looking at the ceiling. Her hajib, I'm not going to butcher that, is missing. It was the first time that any of the men sees the girl's long dark locks. When will it be ready? Okay, so these lines, I'm going to tell you now, when I create Genevieve's character, it was very much like sweet, innocent, naive little girl kind of characteristics versus, I don't know, versus what? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, when I was picturing this in my head, it's just Genevieve on a counter. Like, I sit on a counter sometimes and my legs swing, and because trust and believe, your legs will swing without me knowing, and I just do it to keep me busy. So that's where kind of Genevieve's scene came through as. Thomas sat stirring and looks his sister in the eye, and once a spoon found its way into the female's mouth, she perks up. I feel like that was like one of the scenes to showcase that Thomas is very much like in tune with his surroundings, and literally was just like, alright, here, try it. And then, delicious, she squeals, falling backwards. As her head hangs off the counter, she's able to see the newly woken up family members, each wearing bat-themed pajama sets. Oh, hello, she greets. Yeah, that's self-explanatory. I wanted, Genevieve to see them instead of Thomas, because Thomas was probably focused on the mixing of the yogurt, I believe I have it set. I don't remember. And just, like, she's having fun in the kitchen counter, like what most kids can't do if they in the kitchen because their parents will yell at them. Thomas grunts and pours the mixture into 2 separate bowls. I should have, let's just say the bowls were all on the table on the counter. I mean, he doesn't make eye contact with the other. Here, Jenny, he pushes the bowl to his sister, giving the hungry twin a soft smile. Once again, Thomas only shows affection towards his sister, and maybe Alfred to some degree. Maybe. From afar, Dick is mentally fanboying. To him, it's like seeing a younger Damien all over again, except this one has feelings. Damien is feeling a mix of emotions ranging from pride to concern. Is this how he was as a child? Is this how Marinette raised their kids? A multitude of questions flow into his head. Todd is feeling a sense of pride, saying the two little demons work their magic. Oh, how he misses Marinette. This one was like showcasing the feelings of everyone who's been kind of affected by Marinette when they were younger. It's been 10 years since they all seen Marinette, because you guys will get this in the future, in a future part, but I don't know. Actually, I know why, but I've been playing with the idea lately in my head, so we shall see. The reason Damien is feeling a mixture of emotion ranges from pride to concern. He's pride because, like, these are his kids. They did something that most kids won't do. But concerned because, like, he's seeing Thomas, which is basically a miniature version of him, act this way towards his family, basically ignores them, and he's like, was this really how bad I was as a kid himself? Jason is just like, these are his little demons. Like, he's already kind of like adopted them in the back of his mind, like already claimed them as his, even though biologically they're not. But he claimed Marinette as his sister, so we see how that works out. The twin chooses to ignore the newcomers and focus their attention on their snacks. Genevieve practically drowns her bowl as Thomas took his time. Genevieve is a very hunky girl. That's self-explanatory. She pushes an empty bowl to her brother with a sheepish smile. Thomas shakes his head and hands her his bowl. The bowl was half empty, and she took it with a heart. She took it to heart, making sure that to leave enough for her twin. Genevieve, and like I said, this is another showcasing of Genevieve's and Thomas's connection and love for each other, and how their bonding moment differs from the rest of the families. Thank you, Tommy, Genevieve whispers. Jason, having seen enough of the twins' interactions, make his way over to the counter. He looks into the bowl and sees what looks like to be remnants of pudding or yogurt of some kind. So what should we eat in this late at night? He asks, trying to make conversation with the twins. Thomas grunts as Genevieve hands the bowl back to her brother. I got hungry and wanted some yogurt. Genevieve answers with the sweetest smile, with the sweetest voice that would kill Jason in an instant. Oh my God, you're too precious for this world. Jason murmurs, pulling the girl into his arms, causing her to gasp out. This then caused Thomas to throw a spoon at the man with the intent to harm. Once again, this part is basically Jason. It's already setting up Jason will be the one to get to know the twins before everyone else, because Jason's gonna bond with Thomas very well, and Genevieve is gonna see Jason as like an uncle figure, that since Luca's no longer in this scenario and stuff like that. Luca's alive, just we know, but because they're not in Paris when they're in Gotham, they're gonna need someone to just play the part of a loving parent, especially since it's gonna take Damien a minute to play that part as a loving parent. Thomas, I think a few people on my Tumblr comment noticed, was that he's very protective of his sister, and just like Damien, he would find he'll find a simplest basically a non-weapon thing and turn it into a weapon, and that's what he tried to do with the spoon. Tommy! Genevieve shrieks, catching the spoon, only to pout at her brother, who looks the other way and begins to clean up the mess. His way of basically I'm done with this. Oh great, Demon Swan 2.0. Tim murs into a freshly made cup of coffee. How'd that get into his hand? The world may never know. Or do we know? I mean, come on. It's a freshly made cup of coffee. Where's the coffee machine? Tim holds coffee, most likely anywhere on his person. It seems that tonight's festivities are over. Alfred interrupts before any more damage can be inflicted. Master Thomas and Miss Genevieve needs their sleep. Alfred always Alfred here to save the day. And his kitchen. We all know Alfred runs the kitchen. Okay, there we go. Thomas nods as Jason sets Genevieve down. Her hair now a mess. She pouts and brings her hand to brush down her hair. I am so sorry for anyone who wrote those. I literally never catch my own mistakes until after I post them. Only because, here's a fun fact, I don't edit half the time. Because if I do edit, I get bored and I don't want to continue. And sometimes I'm just like, here, bam, 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 bam. Okay. Thank you, Pennyworth, Thomas says, agreeing with the older man. Genevieve stands closer to her brother before motioning for Alfred to bend down. He does, and she whispers a few words into his ear. Alfred straightens his posture and nods. Of course, Miss Genevieve. The three walks out once more, leaving the two men of their ever-growing doom. Damien, Jason brings his voice void of emotions. Whatever happened between you and Pixie Pie needs to be fixed. I refuse to deal with a mini you. That spoon could have taken an eye out. Pixie Pie, I think, was just a nickname I saw once on another Daminette fanfic. I don't know whose. And just decided to throw it in there. Knowing Jason, he probably does have, like, a ton of nicknames for Marinette. And it's kind of odd because, like, if you guys read my DC Titans and Miraculous Ladybug AUs, it's like those two characters, like, you see a different type of Jason. And I think that's because it's very much different universes. I'm not going to discuss much about my DC. I should be actually writing part 2, episode 2, but haven't gotten to that yet because I've been overwhelmed with classwork and I'm procrastinating again, so I will get back on homework later. Alright. Damien's internal battle between pride and paternal instincts kept him from answering. Why can't this family ever be normal? Bruce mutters, taking away Tim's cup of coffee and exiting the kitchen. Hey, Tim shouts as his brain registers what had just happened. Tim basically already sleep deprived and needs caffeine to work. That's kind of what I figured out of this sentence. Maybe we should talk to him in the morning. Dick offers finding a way to get to the twins to open up. Dick is probably the only person that would actively seek to get to know the twins, like, at such a quick speed versus Jason, who's just, like, taking his time getting to the twins by offering them, like, a little bit of help, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But Dick is like, I need these kids to love me, kind of like feel. If Thomas was anything like Damien, then it would be impossible, but if he's like Marinette, then trust is the key. Seriously, how do I miss this sometimes? Some of these. Trust is the key. Trust and believe. I'm making all these edits now because I'm posting this onto my website soon. Julie appears to be somewhat comfortable around them as she didn't have her hijab on. Is it hijab on? Hijab? Or hijab? I don't. I'm just going to say headscarf for now. Sorry if that is offensive to people, but I don't want to butcher that name any more than I have to. But that could be because it's late at night and didn't think anyone would see. I have kids, Damon repeatedly mutters. Dick and Jason pats on their younger brother's back. That you do, baby bird, that you do. Alright. So the whole point of this entire part was literally just to see how everyone interacts with the twins. If my memory serves me correct with part 1, it ends with the twins going to sleep. In this part, Damien doesn't accept the fact that he has kids. Jason is trying to get to know the kids, the twins, and a whole lot of other stuff is going on. So that's my writer's commentary for this part. Part 3 will come in the future. I don't know when, if I even do a part 3. But yeah, that was part 2. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, like I said, I really don't know what the heck I'm doing anymore in my life. But this has actually forced me to read through my stuff, and hopefully you guys can pinpoint something that I missed, because I don't get a lot of commentary. Alright, thank you guys!